Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So today we're going to talk about Grant Cardone. I'm kind of doing a Grant Cardone-a-thon, if you will. I have a lot of unhappy students that have been unhappy or dissatisfied, disappointed in their dealings with Grant Cardone. I'm talking about people that invested in his funds and or paid to, I had some guy paid in my class that paid $7,500. I'm sure there was more to it than just having dinner, but he got to have dinner with Grant, and he was unhappy. He's embarrassed. He's actually embarrassed that he spent the money. Felt like it was a huge waste of money, and I have a lot of people like that. Grant Cardone has in the past been very good motivator, and in fact, the gentleman I talked to just signed up yesterday, new person. He invested well over $100,000 in a Cardone fund, and he said the highest return he's seen is 4.75%. That is a miserable return. I said, well, did you get your money back, or when do you get your money back? You know, did they sell it and make a profit? And he said, oh, no. He goes, I think it's tied up for 10 years. So to think that you got $100,000 or $200,000 tied up, making only, if it's $100,000, that's only, $4,750 a year. That's peanuts. I have students in my class that take $100,000 turned into $1 million in a year, or take $100,000 and turn it into $100,000 in a few months, buy and sell a piece of property. So really this is what I'm talking to is I want to talk to you students particularly, Grant Cardone people, investors with Grant Cardone, students of Grant Cardone, and I want to show you what I have to offer and why it's the most relevant information that you, as somebody that is maybe, even if I don't care if you're worth $5 million or less, and I think that covers a lot of you, what I have to offer is extremely important to you. Extremely important to you. When I have my book, get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. This is how most of the Grant Cardone people that are interested in real estate have found me. They get my book, they read it, and they go, oh man, this guy's real. And then they look a little deeper and they find out, yeah, 100%, I am real. I've been doing this 41 years. We'll be right back.
It's the best thing I ever did.
Okay, so this video in particular is called How to Get Started in Real Estate with No Money, Grant Cardone. So let's watch this and I will give you some commentary and we'll see where it goes from there.
Hey, Grant Cardone here. Hope you're doing well, and I want to share in this video with you some ways that you can get started in real estate with no out-of-pocket money. I'm in a casino today. I'm in the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and look, this casino was built that Mandalay Bay behind me was built from the backs of little tiny bets. I want you to remember that, okay? Little tiny bets built that real estate behind me you call a casino. That's not a casino. That's a piece of real estate with cash flow on top of it. And the cash flow is funded by $5 bets, $10 bets, $15, quarter jackpots. You understand? Now what sits underneath the casino is a piece of real estate. They're gonna tear that building down to the ground in the future. They're gonna put a new, higher, bigger building, newer building. They're gonna depreciate and write off everything in the old building that they knocked down. This is the craziest game in town and you're not taking advantage of it. And they're gonna build another building with debt, the thing you need to know about so that you can start buying real estate with no money. Okay, so in this video,
this is kind of where he usually goes. He points to assets that nobody can afford, even himself, without buying collectively, unless you happen to be a billionaire. And I think it's in dispute whether Grant's actually a billionaire or not. He's obviously made some money. But this is kind of part of the setup that I don't like about him. But I can't wait to get into it when he just talks about making money with no money.
How to do real estate with no money. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to play this game with no dough. If you hadn't subscribed to that channel, man, hit that damn bell because I'm trying to...
Actually, that's a good point. Thanks for that, Grant. Hey, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I've been investing in real estate for over 41 years, and the reason people find me really a more important mentor than Grant and many others that talk a big story but have nothing to back it up is I actually can back it up. I've probably bought roughly 200 properties in the last 41 years. That's only about 5 a year. But I've made tens of millions of dollars. I don't have partners. I got maybe one or two partners on some smaller deals, very small piece of my portfolio. And I enjoy all of the profits myself, right? Nobody else is holding my money, which is what happens when you throw it into a fund. You're at the mercy of someone else. And that is the worst thing you can do. You don't have any control over your money. And anyhow, we're going to get into this, but we'll keep watching. I'm going to speed him up just a little bit, by the way, and just so we can rip through it a little quicker.
To help you and your family. This is free, okay? I'm also going to do a free extended training. I can't do it here on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you're seeing it, TikTok. This is going to be an extended 3-hour training for those of you who are serious, real serious about getting your real estate game on. I got $4 billion worth of real estate today. It's a mind-boggling. When I even say that number, I'm like, is that even real? Pinch yourself, man. Is it real? And it is. Okay, I started with no money. What was that, 29 years old? Bought my first deal. It was a mistake, but still made money on it. It's the thing about real estate.
So this is interesting. I think I know the property he's talking about. It's an under $100,000 deal. I think he said he made no money on it, so I don't know. He's going to talk about it here. The kind of properties that most of you watching are going to buy are probably under 500,000 or under $1 million. Those are the properties that Grant Cardone has the absolute least experience in buying. The least experience in buying. And buying the bigger properties, the ones that are very expensive, I'm saying, 30, 40, 50 million. Those ones, if you're buying them with other people's money, okay, you use other people's money, you can make money on the asset. You make money on the purchase and acquisition fee. You make money on a management fee of the fund. So it's a no-lose situation for the guy that runs the fund. And we'll just see how he extrapolates this, modest beginnings to what he's going to try to sell you on.
Man, you could be a little off and still make money on this stuff. I bought 2 deals in a row with no money. Third deal I bought with no money. How can I buy 3 deals with no money? Okay? The first deal was $78,000. That's in your neighborhood today. I don't care who you are, where you live. I guarantee you I can find a deal equivalent to the $78,000 deal I bought 30 years ago.
Okay. Finding a deal equivalent to the one he bought 30 years ago, from what I gather, was a house that he bought and he paid full price for it. And you can do that anywhere. Anywhere that there's a property, you can pay full price. That buying full retail is not impressive at all.
Some of your markets, in fact, that market that I'm talking about, I probably can't buy that neighborhood, but I can buy another neighborhood for that much money. Look, money's money, okay? So if you got to pay $200,000 for the deal and you make the same amount of return I got, I had a double on my first deal because I put no money down, okay? Listen to me. I put $3,750, just to be completely honest. There's 5 things I'm going to show.
Okay, so he didn't go in with zero money. He came in with $3,750, which is, of course, it's a relatively small amount of money. Not necessarily to everybody watching, but it is a relatively small amount of money. But it's not zero.
Okay, the first thing is to look for those no money down deals or almost no money down deals. They're all over the place. Duplexes, fourplexes, single family.
They are not. They are not.
Homes, vet loans. There's probably a good 11 to 12 different ways to buy a deal with no money down, okay? Now, that being said, those are easy, and that's not what I'm here to explain to you. In fact, in this training, I'm going to leave all those deals aside because most of that's just garbage real estate.
Okay, see, now he just described all the properties that are within your reach, okay? Duplexes, houses, triplexes, whatever he said. The stuff that he put $3,750 on, stuff that he just told you you can buy with nothing down. He just said, oh yeah, there's all this stuff. But all that stuff is garbage. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about. Now this is where the bullshit begins.
Let that sink in. Let that breathe while we build together.
Yeah.
See, the most important thing in a real estate deal
doesn't
this
smell
is how you
good.
Get deals done with very little or no money down is the deal itself. It is the real estate itself that will determine, not the lender, you, the borrower, not your credit score. It is the deal itself that will determine.
So look, what he's saying, this is anybody clever. They kind of mix half truths, or they mix fact with BS. And so listen, I buy property under market regularly. The students in my class buy property under market regularly, which I better pitch the book here. Look, here's my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. That's how most people find me, is through my book. Urge you to get it. It'll be the best $10, $20 you spend. You can get it on Audible or Kindle. And you won't regret it. That I promise you. And if you do, I think you send it back for a refund. Who offers that, right? Let's keep watching.
Determine how much money you can actually get from a bank. That's a whole nother topic that I'm going to be sharing in this 3 hours. Like, what bank, what lender, savings and loan, credit union, community bank, local bank, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Is it a HUD loan? Like, you guys got to know all these. Is it Mez debt?
Okay, so this is the hook to get you to go into a seminar and get his phone number. And look, a lot of the fake gurus, unfortunately, what they do is this kind of video is just simply harvest your email, your phone number, and then they turn it over to their salesman, and then their salesman will harass you to death almost. They'll just bug the shit out of you. They're highly, they get good commissions on your purchase. And so you got to remember, when people are desperate and hungry, trying to make money, and they get commission, they're going to say a lot of things that aren't necessarily true. And that's one of the reasons Grant's kind of got himself in some lawsuits right now, is because he's made, or at least this is the way I understand it, this is my opinion, but basically this is my interpretation of what I've read and I've seen. He just lost a little battle in court, where basically, they're saying he is exposed to being sued personally. He can't separate himself from the company, as I think he was trying to do. And the bottom line is telling people they could expect up to 15% returns. And the argument is that he's made these promises, and I don't know the exact validity of the argument, but is that he's led people to believe they can get a 15% return investing with him, but he has no basis for it. In other words, he has no history of bringing a 15% return. And so imagine you're somebody that, and I'll get into this again later, but they say, oh, you got the money sitting right there. It's in it's capital. It's in your home. Take the capital out of your home and invest it with me. And then see if you do the math on that, and you say you pull $50,000 out of your home, and you borrow the money at say 5%, just for round numbers. You borrow the money at 5%, and then you take it and then you invest it with Grant Cardone, who maybe the salesperson or Grant himself led you to believe that you can get 15%, that they fully expect to get 15%, even though they haven't really done it before. That's what they fully expect. So you're going, hell, you know what? I'll borrow the money with 5%, and I'll make 10% a year on the borrowed money. Sounds pretty good to me. I do it all the time, but I have all the control. But you have none of the control in this kind of situation where you invest in a fund. So that's the problem. You go borrow money at 4 or 5%, and then you get a 4 or 5% return, and your money's tied up for 10 years. You make a net zero. It's terrible. So that is something that can happen, has happened. My newest students today told me they invested over $100,000, and the highest return they've seen is 4.75%. Let's keep watching.
Is it hard money? But you got to know all this stuff. I'm going to share all this with you in this training. But the most important thing is when you get the right deal, you will have money from every source wanting to fund that deal. I'm going to show you in this training how to find that right deal. Number two, money, family and friends. Okay, now, when you go approach a family and friend, you guys should not approach family and friends on some 75-25, 50-50. You should just approach them for a damn loan.
Yeah, see, what great advice, right? I tell you, never borrow money from family. I tell you what, if you loan money to family, don't ever expect to see it back. You'll never be disappointed that way. If you're going to loan money to family and friends, just give it to them, or say, hey, this ain't a loan. Enjoy, or something like that. Not that you can't loan, but borrowing money to throw it into an investment and anticipating a return, very bad idea. Unless it's really something you have control on. Okay, if it's, believe me, I tell people, I didn't have money when I began. I had to find deals, and I had to find a partner to get the money from. And then pretty soon I had enough money without the partner. I didn't need a partner anymore. So, because I don't like splitting the profit in two, and I would prefer to borrow the money. But I don't necessarily think an inexperienced investor should borrow money from family or friends.
Right now, they got money. Guys got $10,000 sitting in the bank. Your dad's got 10 grand sitting in the bank. I can buy a house for 10 grand today. You go to your dad, he's earning 0.0012%. And he's like, I don't know if I trust you to pay me back. Do you trust Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo's been ripping your dad off.
It's funny, he said, because I can buy a house for that. And he's the one who tells you, don't buy a house. Don't buy a home. The only investment that works is apartments. But this thing, he's like a politician. He doesn't think anybody has memory.
Off for freaking 30 years. Wells Fargo was fined by the U.S. government for scamming people. Okay? Dad, lend me 10 grand. I'm going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you 0.0012%.
He's actually being sued for the same kind of allegations, from what I understand.
I'm going to pay you, Dad, 12% in 1 year. And it would take you, Dad, 10 years to earn 1% from Wells Fargo. I'll pay you 12% in 1 year. Your dad's probably going to say, you don't need to pay me 12, just pay me 5. Okay? So, family and friends. I'm going to be showing you how to set those deals up with family and friends and not.
So he's going to try to get you to borrow money from your family and friends to use that money to what? Spend it with him or invest with him. Anyways, keep watching.
Give them a piece of the real estate deal. Okay, cheapest money in the world is family and friends. 3, you should join a real estate investing club. Okay, if you guys want to start really figuring out how to buy deals with no money down, I have a club that 150 people meet every Wednesday on a call and 3 times a year. If it's not my club, get in a club. These are where real estate, real people, not hacks and jacks and come-alongs and.
Actually, I don't like real estate clubs myself. When you go into a real estate club, and I actually really never been in real estate. I mean, I have my own group. My group is a bunch of like-minded individuals that are making money, and I got a bunch of them. I got people that have become millionaires in just a couple of years. In fact, you can just look at I have real estate agents that are in my class that want to be investors and that have become investors and have been successful. I just did an interview with, I think it was a video yesterday we showed it. Herb made $100,000 and he's in New York, where people say, oh, no, New York's too expensive. You can't invest there. It's got nothing to do with it. You can make money anywhere, every city in the USA. Same things. The opportunities that come about in every city is, divorce, death, depression. There's all kinds of reasons people sell properties, and that's the best thing about real estate. It's an inventory that never runs out. I know I've had properties that I've sold that I came back and bought, later on, and still made money. And when I sold them, roundabout later, they came up again, bought it again, sold it, and made more money again. A lot of half truths and stuff that get mixed in with Grant that I don't really like, and there's some common sense stuff in there, then mixed in with kind of the spiel. To the sales pitch.
Readers and learners, these are people that are really serious about investing in real estate and know that real estate is that asset class that will be around, that will benefit from hyperinflation, that will continue to appreciate, that will have passive income. Like, quit waiting, man. Get in a club, get around other people. They say your net worth is your net worth. Yeah.
Listen, when you're a beginner in real estate, I can tell you right now, you don't want to hold anything. You want to buy your property, turn it. You buy a property for 10, and almost every property under $100,000. That's the easiest area. Buying properties under $100,000 are the easiest ones that you can triple your money on. In other words, I bought lots for $10,000, sold them for $30,000. I bought lots for. I bought a building, a recent purchase in the last few years. Paid $80,000. It was worth $350,000 the day I bought it. These things happen. You just got to know how to do it. And by the way, again, you can get that in my book, but also in the mentorship. If you don't know what the mentorship, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. It'll be the best investment you'll make in time. Look at all the testimonials, the mentorship. And by the way, I have a seminar coming this Thursday. Be sure to sign up right here. Look up here, webinar. Click on the webinar right there, that little button you see above my head. And that'll take you to this. Fill out this form. I'll send you what's the equivalent of kind of a little video webinar, but also you'll be slated to be invited and joined to a live. You can ask me questions direct. Listen, I earn my money. I'm a mentor. You have access to me if you ever get in the mentorship itself, and I urge you to do so. But you have to get approved for it. I don't let just anybody in. I only let the best and brightest, and it pays off. You're going to see over here, Chris is a great kid, young man, wife and kids.
Get around people that are buying deals. Get around people that are funding deals. Get around people that are investing in deals. Get in an investing club. There's probably one in your local market. If you want to join mine, reach out to my office. Number 4, syndicators in your local market. You don't need money to do deals. You don't even need to find your own deals. I guarantee you could either jump on somebody's syndication. Okay, I'll give you an entire list of guys that are doing syndications that I like.
Yes, and syndications are terrible. They can be really bad. There's a handful that can maybe be good, but you're probably not going to run into them. In general, I love selling to syndicators, to be quite honest. Syndicators are hungry. They say, we got all these people that are willing to put money into our fund, and so they got to look for property. And guess what? They go out and they buy property that's full value. They pay full retail for it. And the reason is because as soon as they buy that piece of property, your money as an investor in the fund, your money's gone. It's used. Now, your money may be gone for 10, 12, 15 years, maybe forever. And the problem with that is you have no control over your money. The motivations for a lot of these syndicators and funds to buy property isn't like Grant said, you can buy a property. He can buy a property and not make money on it, or you can, I don't know, he can make money on a property that's not worth what he paid for it because of cash flow, right? But it doesn't do you any good. So the problem with that scenario is that you have people that are looking to buy property. They'll pay full retail for it, which means you're not, day one you're buying it. It's nothing. You just converted your cash into an asset that's worth the same. And then when interest rates go up like they have recently, I don't care if it's an apartment building or anything else, apartments really get killed. Apartment values have gone down. So I think if you got in one of these funds, you bought one of these apartment buildings, you're upside down if they paid full retail. Now, if they bought it way under market, that's a different story. But I don't think that's the case, because why would you take other people's money to buy an asset far under market when you could negotiate it yourself and just assign it to someone, or wholesale it, as you guys like to call it. So let's keep watching.
Around the country, from Houston to Harristown, Pennsylvania. It's all over. Los Angeles to Detroit. I know people all over the country that are buying real estate, and some of these places, they're making fortunes, okay, buying real estate right now. Syndicators in your market that are doing deals will also be and have access to money to lend to you on a deal. I know guys that are getting deals done right now.
Oh yeah, syndicators just love to loan money.
With 100% financing. They get the senior debt, they get a secondary debt, a bridge debt, and then they get another little tiny piece for maybe friends and family, okay? Now, I tell you I give you 5, I'll give you 5, okay? The fifth way to do a deal with no money down is to know a guy like me. I'm looking for real estate. If you find a piece of real estate, 200 units or bigger, in a market that's growing, positive migration, okay? I know you, I trust you, I know you can manage that deal. I'm happy to fund the deal. There's plenty of guys like me, guys and gals, families, family funds, wealthy people, wealthy families that have tremendous money that you can go to. If you know them and they trust you and you have a great deal, they will fund it for you. That's one of the things we'll be talking about.
So let me just say that again, there's half-truths in here and everything else. First building I bought when I was 19 years old. I paid $110,000 for it. It was an industrial/commercial building. It had kind of a commercial facade and an industrial facility in the back. Well, I found another building that I could buy for, I think, $170,000. I figured it was worth about $225,000. I couldn't buy it. I was 19, 20 years old, something like that. And so I got it tied up. I agreed. I found the deal, right? I found the deal. And I always tell you, this is true. You find a deal, you can find somebody else with money to buy it. I did in that situation. I found a building worth $225,000. I tied it up where I said I would buy it for $170,000, and I got a hold of my old boss, John Brooks. Rest his soul. Nice guy, great guy, really, really fantastic businessman. Anyways, he came out and he come look at the property and he says, "Oh yeah, hey Tommy, this is a great deal." And he goes, "But I don't want a partner." And I'm like, "Huh?" And he says, "How about I just give you $20,000 and I'll buy it without you?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a fantastic deal, John." And so that's what happened. He gave me $20,000, took my position in it. We call that an assignment. You'll learn about that in my class as well. And basically, listen, if you find a deal, that's how I stumbled upon what you guys call wholesale, I call assignments, and I've been doing this since the 80s, is I found my first property, went to find a partner, bought it with a partner, and then after that, the partner said, "Hey, I don't want to sell it." I said, "Well, then buy me out." And he gave me half of the equity that we had in the property together. That was $7,500 on that first one. And then later on, like I say, I found a bigger deal, and then it was like, "Hey, Tom, rather than we buy it together, I'll just give you 20 and I'll take it by myself." Fantastic deal. So finding money is easy. It's finding the deal is the tough part. So he is right about that. One thing that I really am out for here is you Grant Cardone students, happy or unhappy, I want you to come to my seminar. I want you to get my free webinar. Go to my webinar, go to the seminar. Finding money is easy. Finding great deals, that's hard. And that's why I teach in my book how to make money and maintaining the control yourself. Very, very important. You can get a copy here at Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can go read the first couple chapters for free, I think, at any of those formats. At least the last thing you want to do is take equity out of your home, pay 4 or 5% interest on that money, and then put it in a fund and get the same or less, return from that fund, and have your money tied up for all those years, and the equity in your home, by the way, tied up for all those years. It's terrible. Think about that. Then you want to upgrade your home. You go to sell your home, and now you got to pay off that second that was maybe the HELOC that you used to fund the fund, and now you're 50,000 short of being able to invest it into something bigger and better for yourself and your family. So anyways, you can see I am not a big fan of this type of approach, or a big fan of Grant Cardone for this reason. I think that he's not making the money the same way. He's utilizing your money so that he can take a piece of you, the profits that would otherwise be yours if you had bought property without him. And that's what's no good. That's what I really, really don't like, is you don't need to partner with somebody so big and have your capital tied up for so long. There's so many much easier ways, and you're not going to get rich doing that. Just do the math on that. Even if you got 15%, which I don't know anybody that's gotten those kind of profits that they've alleged that they can make, even if you got 15%, listen, you take $100,000 and you make $15,000 a year on it. Let's just say for 10 years. That's $150,000 in 10 years. I mean, that may not seem like peanuts to you, but it's peanuts. It is peanuts. You ain't gonna get rich. You can take $100,000, you can turn it into $1 million. You can buy a single piece of property and buy it under market and make $300,000 on the day that you bought it. With that, $100,000 being 10% down, or on 500,000. Look, Liam in the class, he just bought a building for 700,000, sold for $1,360,000. $1,060,000. So he made $360,000 on it. And also in the class, Eric, he made $700,000. So, anyways, look, sign up for the free webinar. Go to the links below, or go to FlipAnythingUSA. Earlier in the video, I showed you that you can go click on the webinar, sign up for that, you're in. You can sign up for the mentorship survey. Really urge you, if you sign up for the mentorship survey, you'll end up getting a direct contact from me. Like I say, I don't have a sales force. I don't have a sales team, to harass you and call you. You're going to get a call from me or nobody. That's it. I've never had anybody call for me. Let me put it that way. And so you will hear from me if you fill out the mentorship survey. If you get in the webinar, you can see me face to face. We'll be in a giant Zoom, and you can ask questions directly. Bring your best questions. Ask the questions like I tell you, the kind of questions you should ask anybody. You should never trust anybody. Say, show me what you have done. Show me a property. Show me an apartment building you made money on. Show me a house you made money on. Show me, an industrial building you made money on. Show me a commercial property that you made money on. These are the kinds of questions that I encourage you to ask others, because these are the kind of questions I would expect you to ask me, that I can back up and I can show you millions of dollars of profits. And that's what you want. You need a relevant mentor, and that's what I am. I'm a relevant mentor, meaning the things that I teach, the properties that I buy, are the same properties that you would buy. I just buy more of them than you. I buy houses. I just bought last three purchases, 460, 300, 297. Okay, those are the last three houses that I bought. I bought some buildings that cost in the millions too. But what I'm trying to tell you is, there's more houses than anything else. Just think about when you're on the road and you see all these cars around you. Guess what? Every one of those cars is going to go home and park in either a carport or a garage or on the street in front of an apartment. Those people. Everybody's got a place to live. Everybody goes, all those cars also go somewhere to work. So there's a building or a retail center where they work. There is a fantastic inventory out there that never depletes. You can make a fortune in real estate. You just have to ask the right questions. If you're going to have a mentor, it will shortcut you. If you have a credible, good mentor, if you have a scammer talking to you, he's just going to feed you full of bullshit, and you're going to be out of your money. And I don't want that for you. So anyways, I'll be right back.
Yo, stop and listen. Time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. They'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything USA. Go.
I just want to tell you that all the properties that you just saw just now that I pointed to or flashed behind, every one of those, whether an apartment building, a house, or commercial center, Every one of those properties I own or have owned. I negotiated the deal. I resold it and made a nice big fat profit on the deal, or I continue to enjoy the asset, and it brings me a lot of cash flow. I mean, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and this is what is possible, and you can do it in a relatively short time. I already have students in my class. Again, you can meet them. I'll ask some of them to come to the seminar, and you can meet them, ask them any question you want. This is what I do that nobody else does. They're not shills. These are real people. Please hit that subscribe button. I don't ask for that nearly enough as I should, but please hit that subscribe. Don't miss me again. You've got into this channel. If you're curious, if you're interested in making money in real estate, subscribe, okay? Also, go to the links below, sign up for the webinar. I'm not going to harass you. You're not going to get salespeople aren't going to call you, none of that BS. You'll be reached out to in order to go to the free webinar, seminar, where you can talk to me on free Zoom, but you don't have to come, obviously. And but you can also watch the video. We'll send you a video, and you can see some other people that made money and you know, what I'm all about. Thanks for watching.